skin? What about your skin? On my skin, your disapproving stare, the smell of your hair, the warmth of your caress, the breeze ruffling your dress from the other side of the USA. It's like I never went away. And yes, I've gotten what I thought I sought after, but I really got it wrong this time. I tried hard at being strong, but I'm feeling more depleted every day. I'm unconditionally defeated. Your picture in my phone reminds me I'm alone. I should delete it, but that sounds kinda desperate. No, I can handle this. I just gotta try not to reminisce, because I'm but I did what I did. Oh, who am I trying to kill? And yes, I've got what I thought I sought after, but I really got it wrong this time. I tried hard at being strong, but I'm feeling more depleted every day. I'm unconditionally defeated. past him, but why can I never do anything before you go? I don't know. And outside the streets empty, there was no time then. Now there's plenty, but why do I never get a chance to say a word when you're on your own? like it's going out of style, pretending that I know exactly what I'm doing with my life. Meanwhile, I'm terrified of tomorrow. The scenery has changed, and the road's my only friend. The routes been rearranged. I know I don't know where this is gonna end. My hopes and dreams have been completely redefined, and all that time I'm still trying not to think about just what I've left behind, and that takes a special skill. The scenery has changed, and the road's my only friend. But the routes have been rearranged, and I don't know where this is gonna what I've left behind, and that takes a special skill.
And we are going from a trail about Maida Vale to Maida Vale to speak to the wedding present, David.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
Very well, thank you. How are you, Mark?
I'm good, thank you, yeah. I had a look at a photograph that you tweeted earlier on. You're in the big room, aren't you?
We are. Well, it's a big group tonight. We've got an extended version of the wedding present.
I know. Thrilling stuff. And I tell you what, I mean, it's going to take you half an hour to introduce everybody. So
It will.
why don't you get on with that now and then do the tune, and we'll have a major chat before the second song. So please, if you can find out who everybody is, please tell us.
Okay, on the guitar, it's Marcus Kane. On the bass and vocals, it's Danielle Wadey. On the drums, it's Charles Layton. On the keyboards, it's Maria Scaroni and vocals, and also on keyboards and vocals, it's Melanie Howard. And then we've brought a string quartet, which is Kalina de la Mare and Rebecca Doe on violins, Robert Spriggs on the viola, Celine Barry on the cello, and then also we've got Andrew Blick on the trumpet, and my good friend John Cottle is conducting them. So
fabulous. Now, I'll tell you what, have they all got name badges on, or did you really know who they all were?
You know, if I'm honest with you, you can't see this because it's radio. I've got them all written down on a piece of paper because I couldn't trust myself.
Yeah, no, good work, mate. I mean, we've had 4-piece bands in here before, quite honestly, and the singer hasn't known who everybody else is, so you did really well. You're going to do 3 songs for us. One is an epic one in between 8 and 5:30, but what are you going to do first?
We're going to do an instrumental, actually. We had an instrumental EP this year called the Home Internationals, and there's 4 tracks named after the home nations, and this is Scotland.
Fabulous. Okay, get to it. The wedding present. Thank you. Wonderful stuff, though I have to say, false endings in the same room are bad enough, but 200 miles away, but that was brilliant. The wedding present live in session with Scotland, and we'll have 2 more tunes shortly. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Well, I won't see you, but I'll hear you. Charlie, I'm Mark Riley, and I am sat here in Salford at Media City, whilst in Maida Vale we have the wedding present. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, before we go any further, David, I would like to say thank you very much on behalf of Steve and Paul Hanley, particularly Steve, for inviting Bricks and the Extricated to play with you at the Roundhouse, because I know it was an ambition again, particularly of Steve's, to play that venue, because it's a venue that he'd grown up thinking about, with Bowie having played there with the Hype and also Mott the Hoople. Was it a good night?
It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it was a great night. because we played George Best, so it was a full house.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, just asking on the same kind of tack. Were there any venues when you grew up when you just formed the band in the first place, or even in the previous band where you thought one day I would really love to play this particular venue because it is steeped in history?
Not particularly. I suppose I grew up in Manchester, as you know, and the Free Trade Hall was obviously the kind of the special venue, wasn't it, for those?
Definitely.
So probably there, I guess. I don't know.
And you did play it?
No, I've never played it. No.
Oh right, well, it's a hotel now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you've had it, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was the marquee. Yeah, well, there you go. Mine was the marquee and the rainbow. I got to do them both. No.
Oh, well, yeah, 2-0.
Yeah. Anyway, so George Best, it's 30 years
goal
old.
Difference.
You what, mate?
You're in front on goal difference.
We'll get to football in a bit, don't you worry. In fact, we kind of are already. So George Best, 30 years old.
Yeah, today. I didn't realise this, but actually, I was told a couple of days ago, it's actually the 30th anniversary of George Best this very day.
I know it. I thought you engineered this because you are, you really do keep a tight rein on what you do. You know what you do, and you've got your record label, and everything's well marshalled and brilliantly executed. So I thought that you'd sat there and worked out this game plan 6 months ago. You didn't.
No, I mean, I'd love to say yes, it was all mathematically engineered, but no, I was surprised. To be honest, I didn't even realise it was the 30th anniversary because it was at the end of last year. We got some invitations to play it, and I was like, oh, okay. And they said, well, it's the 30th anniversary next year. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right, 2017, because it didn't seem that long ago to me since we were doing the 20th anniversary. You know what I mean? That was 10 years have flown past. So
that's it, though, isn't it? I mean, it's a cliche, but time does fly. You probably thought if I was in your situation, I probably would have thought that was about 6 years ago, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's bizarre, isn't it? So it just crept up on you. And I think I don't even know. It might have been one of our Super Furry Animals who were in here at one particular point, not with Super Furry Animals on one of the other bands. It might have been Guto, but they said that every year, if you've been going long enough, every year is an anniversary of something.
Yeah.
It's true. I thought that was really wise.
Yeah.
And it is. You did meet George Best as well, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was one of those things that you didn't really plan it. It was just at the time the LP came out, the press officer that we had said, we should do a photo session with George Best, and we were like, okay. And so he just rang his agent and said, do you want to do a photo session with these lads from Leeds who are releasing an LP? I'm not sure he knew anything about, I'm sure he didn't know anything about the band or the music and stuff.
Right.
So, but it was, there we were in a room with George Best.
People say never meet your heroes. I think that's rubbish more often than not, unless it's, I never met Lou Reed, but you know what I mean.
I was petrified, to be honest with you. I was kind of, when you've grown up as a kid, watching him on the telly, and as with the fact that he was such an icon to me, I was starstruck, and I couldn't really speak to him, to be honest. I think other people in the band spoke to him more than me. I just kind of stood. The worst thing was I actually offered him a beer because I think somebody said, we'll get a crate of beer in to make the photo session go well. And as soon as I saw him, I said, "Oh, hello, George, do you want a beer?" And he was like, "No, I'm on the wagon." I totally forgot he was a reforming alcoholic.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is offer him a can of beer. So
well, it was done out of love, mate.
Straight away I put my foot in it, really, though.
Well, there you go. There's a pattern emerging. Yeah. But, it is ironic because George Best is an icon and the album is iconic now, isn't it?
I suppose so, yeah. There's a bloke in this room actually filming us because he's making a documentary about the making of George Best. So that'll be interesting. He's working on it now, and it'll come out next year, I think.
You see, now, if it was all kind of in a different space in time, you might well have filmed a load of the recording sessions on a phone and had footage of the actual recordings. You didn't record or film any of the making of George Best, did you?
Oh, no.
Of course you didn't.
Well, we didn't have the budget, did we? And probably it would have been on a Super 8 or something.
It was a pretty fraught affair, wasn't it?
It was a fraud affair, yeah. It was, it always is when it's your first LP, I think, because, it's uncharted territory, you haven't got any money, all the rest of it. So, we had problems with the person who was producing it and all the rest of it. So it's actually quite an interesting story, which I think is why he wants to make a documentary. Yeah,
I won't give the ending away. No. I'm not like that. but yeah, there was the recording techniques that were used were just quite alien to you, weren't they? And not really suitable for the band.
Not at all, yeah. It was totally... it was recording techniques more suited to dance music, really, which was threw us from the very outset and caused tensions.
Right, okay. Well, I've seen people dance at your gigs, so there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. I mean, just a facetious question. We did say we get to football, and we kind of have already. Are you tempted to do an album called, like, Daley Blind or Chris Smalling?
No, but people always say this,
Oh, do they? Sorry.
You're
probably usually City supporters, are they?
No, people say, if you did an LP now, who would you, who's the current day George Best or whatever. But to me, it's more than football. I've probably said this before. I think he was more of a fashion icon than a pop star, and he was out dating Miss World, and he was late for the practice because he was out in some discotheque with the Beatles last night, and all that kind of. And for a kid, that was half the attraction. It was the rebellious nature of him, as well as the fact that he was an amazing talent. So.
He was one of the many people actually who were kind of referred to by some as the fifth Beatle, wasn't he? He was just kind of the zeitgeist and all that. Yeah. Okay, all right then. So you are going to do for us now.
We're going to do a song from our LP of last year. It's called 56.
Brilliant. Okay, the wedding
town
present
in the United States of America. What are you saying, Charlie? Oh yeah, the reason why we've assembled this mighty cast of musicians is we're playing in London on Saturday with them. Am I allowed to plug that, or what do you have to?
I was going to do that all around the next tune, but that's absolutely
So
I'm
you're jumping the gun there, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie, butt out. Okay,
Let's just play the song, shall we? Stick to the drums.
All right, so the wedding present from Maid of Vale, and this is 56. Thank you. Well, that was fabulous. A wedding present live in session 4. The second time tonight, that is 56, and we shall come back to the band in a short while. Thank you.
No worries.
In a bit. Mark Riley, Salford, wedding present, Maid of Vale. You ready?
Sorry, I was having a drink of water.
That's absolutely allowed, mate. And you are going to do an epic tune for us now, so we couldn't come back to you any later. Apologies for that. I know you could have done with a little bit more time. But so the wedding present sessions from this programme, Volume 2.
It just came out, didn't it?
It did.
And I think with this current session, we've now ready for Volume 3, actually, because I think this is the 12th session.
Well, there you go. It all makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Next year.
Brilliant.
We'll release that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, just to say, I haven't got one yet.
Tony from Hatch Records said he would send you a vinyl one. So.
Well, he probably has. I bet it's fallen down the back of the settee. I'll keep my eyes out for it. But it sounded amazing tonight, everybody. Thank you so much indeed. And I didn't lie before. I have got your tour dates here. So you are playing on the 13th, which is tomorrow, but that's sold out in Kingston upon Thames.
Yeah.
Okay, but on the following night, the 14th of October, Going, live with strings, choir and films, and that is at the Cadogan Hall in London.
That's correct, yeah. With Cinerama, my other group, as you know, we did a session 2 years ago, I think, actually, we made for Maid of Vale. And then the Membranes as well.
Oh, really? All on that bill on that night?
And then also Such Small Hands, which is our friend Melanie, who's actually the keyboard player tonight. So keep it in the family.
Brilliant. Okay, and in November, you're going out on tour as well, and you are... Is that all of doing George Best? Isn't it?
It's a George Best kind of anniversary tour. We're doing a continental European tour, and then we've got some dates in back in the UK, and then it's the last time we're ever going to play it, actually.
Right, okay, mate. Well, there you go. So the 11th of November it starts at Plymouth, and you're playing the Shine On Weekend in Minehead, and then you go through Dover, Stowmarket, Northampton, Leeds, Poole, Sheffield, and finishing off at Cardiff, the Globe on the 4th of February.
It finishes in Leeds, actually. Leeds is going to be the final one of the George Best ones, and then there's other concerts next year, I think.
All right, okay. All right, well, excellent stuff. And you're going to do an epic for us now, aren't you? What are you going to do for us?
What we're going to do is, it's Charlie's idea, actually. It's Bewitched, which was on our Bizarro LP. But we've kind of restructured it to accommodate the fabulous string section.
Fantastic.
So, we thought we'd play that.
Great, we'll get to it then. The wedding present live in session with Bewitched. I was warned about a false ending. There kind of was one in there, but anyway, that was amazing. Thank you very much for wedding present, the whole kit and caboodle of you, and that was Bewitched live in session. Did you do a tune for Gideon Coe as well?
We did, yes. We did the version of Fordland for Gideon.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, I will see you around hopefully before too long, but that was so good. Thank you very much indeed, everybody.
Our great pleasure, Mark. Thank you for having us.
Take care then. Cheers all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Earlier this evening, the wedding present were live from Maid of Vale into Mark Riley's programme and on excellent form. Absolutely wonderful stuff. And here's the extra tune. The wedding present and Fordland and the rest of the session can be found on the Six Music website.